one of the few players to have beat England 5-0 on home soil.
Well, how nervous were you when you used to walk out before
I wasn't
a
nervous
game?
singing the anthem, that's for sure. But no one was listening to my singing, thank God. We just got some news 5 minutes ago that Pat Cummins has officially been ruled out of the first Test match. So that makes me nervous. The fact he's been ruled out so far in advance. It was nice to see Virat and Rohit both make some runs, help their team win. And if that's the last time we do see him in Australia, I think everyone at the SCG was really happy. I know you want runs under your belt, but that's why I say Marnus at the moment is distance above everybody else.
Very warm welcome back to another episode of Beyond 23. My name is Erin Holland, sitting alongside Ashes winning captain, the legendary Michael Clark.
Long time ago.
Got to bring it up in an
winning
Ashes
captain.
year.
Yeah, I lost a few as well, unfortunately. But yeah, it was nice to win. There must be other players, but I'm one of the few players to have beat England 5-0 on home soil. England was the only place, so I didn't win away from home. So anyway, let's
Penny for your thoughts then on
yeah.
just how to get the job done if you are an Aussie fan. Pup, we're doing quite a few of these podcasts at the moment. It's cricket season. It's wonderful to be in the studio on a regular basis. Take us inside the life of Michael Clark. What have you been up to the last couple of days?
Careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. Well, I've got this week just gone is my daughter week. So I have my daughter 7 days on, 7 days off, so 50% custody with her mum. So that week for me is virtually
At the beck and call
her
of Kelsey
first,
Lee.
Kelsey Lee first. Going to school helps. Now they're back at school. But weekends are filled virtually with sport for my daughter now. She's 9. She's into dancing and gymnastics, so I spent the weekend doing that. I saw my mum. Haven't seen my mum for a couple of weeks, so she come over. I don't think she comes over for me anymore. She comes over to see her granddaughter.
Casey.
So that was my weekend. Sport on TV. Obviously watched the cricket, watched the rugby league as well. Australia beat England. But yeah, pretty much daddy-daughter and a lot of sport. Unlike yourself, who was out and about, I saw you sing the national anthem. Now, that's one of the things we don't talk about much with you. What a voice.
Oh, thank you.
What about Australia's Got Talent or Next Australian Idol? Get on there.
I like my cricket too much. No, I was singer first, actually. Went to the conservatorium and did my university degree in
you got an
classical
amazing
singing,
voice.
baby opera singer. So,
Do you get
any
nervous
excuse,
though, singing the anthem?
So nervous. You know what it's like? It's a performance and the adrenaline gets you going. And I think as you go, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a moment where you've done it for a while where you learn how to harness that adrenaline for energy rather than letting the nervousness actually overtake you. And I don't know what it's like for you. Like, how nervous were you when you used to walk out before
I wasn't nervous
game?
singing the anthem, that's for sure. But no one was listening to my singing, thank God. Yeah, I think the national anthem is a special part of playing sport for your country. So I'd imagine standing there and being able to lead that and sing that would be a beautiful feeling for yourself as well. But yeah, I think over time, the more you do something, the more comfortable you get. The nerves are still there. It's just trying to manage those. And like you say, yeah, I think trying to, for me, there was a gap between the excitement and the adrenaline rush and the nerves into that versus the nerves of fear of failure. So trying to find that balance was super important for me leading up to walking out to bat, for example, or, captaining your team and making tough decisions or quick decisions under pressure. So trying to manage that was probably the most important. But that would have been awesome. You went to the Supercars?
I did.
Yeah, that would have been great fun.
It was great. It was, and as you said, it's always a special moment to get to lead, our national song. And one of my favorite parts of watching sport is actually seeing just how much it means to you all as players to be standing there and representing your country. And I think as franchise cricket spreads across the globe, those moments of actually getting to don your own country's colours and bring it back to that, those patriotic roots, I think are really beautiful. Yeah. And that's why I think Ashes is going to be so awesome this summer, because that rivalry between Australia and England, it's like nothing else. And we're actually going to celebrate by going on tour, Beyond 23. We're going on an Ashes tour, baby. Come and see us live. Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide. Back to Sydney.
Yeah.
Maybe a few more cities if you all get on board, jump online, get those tickets. But, Pup, just to remind us, We've got some great guests. We've got some
Yeah, I
Ashes
can't
banter that you
wait.
won't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
Why should they come along?
Well, obviously, you and I will be there. Monty Panesar, my good friend Monty Panesar, who played, I think Monty played 50 test matches for England. He's going to come. He's flying out from England to come and be a part of it. So that's super exciting. There'll be plenty of sledging, plenty of Ashes rivalry. And then I've organised a few of my, I'll say a few of my friends, obviously teammates, some past players I was lucky enough to play with, greats of the game. They'll be coming. Some athletes that were great in their sport, not necessarily cricket. A few of my mates from different codes, they'll be coming as well. And then I've tried to rope in a few of the current players as well, where obviously it would be hard for them to turn up to the event, but I reckon we can get them on the phone. So everybody at the venue, we have the chance to, I guess, to experience and see what it's like for a player the night before a test match or the morning of a test match for that Brisbane test, what they go through, what they eat for dinner, what they eat for breakfast, just a little insight into what the current player does in the lead up to a test match. So, look, I'm really excited. I think it's our first opportunity that we've had to go live and see our fans and spend time with them. For me, it's about entertaining, making sure we're doing plenty of things, giving plenty of stuff to, answer their questions. Again, I always love people at events having a chance to ask us questions and find out, the stuff they want to know. So it'll be very interactive and hopefully super enjoyable.
Yeah, access you won't get anywhere else to the great Michael Clark and whoever guests he manages to wrangle up. So please come and join us. It is going to be absolutely fabulous. Tickets available on the website, and let's continue the Ashes watch just for a little bit while we're on the topic, because we love all of our likes, subscribes, comments, everything that pops up on the YouTube. And one which I think is a hot topic. Yes, there's so much chat around who's going to open the batting, what does those first 6 or 7 look like in the batting order. But in terms of the bowler's workload, at Crick Highlights, I guess it's a 03R. I'm sorry, mate, I'll get your handle right. But it was a great question, because the gist of it is hello, lovely podcast. If you could please discuss the bowling selection headaches for the 5 Test Ashes. There's a lot of workload for Stark and Hazelwood. If they need 2 backup quicks for a rest or any potential niggles, who would make the squad? Brendan Doggett, Jai Richardson, nearly fit, or who? It would be interesting to know your thoughts.
Well, firstly, we just got some news 5 minutes ago that Pat Cummins has officially been ruled out of the first test match. So that makes me nervous. The fact he's been ruled out so far in advance, I think he's going to be out of the first 2 test matches.
Yeah, it's not surprising, right? The way the media, Cricket Australia, have been drip feeding us this information, it kind of felt like they were sure that he wasn't going to be available for the first 1, if not 2.
I just think with things like this, and again, through my experience, I remember when Ryan Harris had to retire when we were over in England. If I had time again, I would have kept that closer to my chest as captain. I wouldn't have announced it as early as we did, because I think it gives the opposition a lot of confidence as well. Like if England are playing in New Zealand, got beaten last night for 4 for not many. I watched some of that one-day game. Every one of those players that is coming to Australia in that test squad would now be seeing this information going, no Pat Cummins. Number one, he's an unbelievable bowler, but he's also Australia's captain. I think they take a lot of confidence from that. So his injury must be extremely concerning, and I think I can't imagine him playing in the first 2 test matches now. They've announced it so early. I'm surprised they have announced it so early, but they have. They've gone that way. Probably from Australia's perspective, someone like Scott Boland, it clears his mind. He now knows he's playing. Yeah. Steve Smith knows he's captain and allows the rest of the players to go, rightio, here's our 11 or here's our 10 or 9, whatever they got at the moment. Let's now focus that Paddy's not going to be there, and they can plan for that. So I can understand from Cricket Australia's point of view why they've done it. Also, it's very hard to keep secrets from the media and the fans when you're the Australian cricket captain as well. I think the public deserves the right to know. They want to know what's happening with our captain. So Cricket Australia's probably trying to be as transparent as they can, which I obviously understand and respect that as well. Scotty Boland, no-brainer. He's in. So Hazelwood, Stark, Boland, Lyon are my 4 bowlers. To me, you've got at least 1 all-rounder. Is it Cameron Green? Is it Cameron Green and Beau Webster? But to me, there's 5 bowlers and they'll play. This time right now is important for this Ashes series because we've got a lot of players. We've got the T20s against India happening. But a lot of players are being left out of the T20 squad so they can go back and play this last Shield game before selection is announced. The squad is announced. So I think there's definitely, it's a bat-off for a number of players. There is pressure on individuals. There is also individuals having their workloads managed in regards to how much bowling they'll do in the lead-up, particularly to bowlers. So in regards to the next pick fast bowler, we've got a lot of injuries at the moment as well. Like for mine, the one who has earned that spot is Michael Neser, but he's injured at the moment, so he's not playing. So I feel like he's a lot like Andy Bickle when I come into the Australian team. He was always 12th man. It was hard for him to get an opportunity. When he got the opportunity, he grabbed it with both hands. So I think at the moment there's a number of fast bowlers that if they got the chance, they would do well. But I don't think Cricket Australia is certain on anyone. The one for mine who has been in the short form format for long enough now that he's being held out of this T20 squad for a certain amount of games is Sean Abbott. I think Sean Abbott is one that they're probably thinking, if Boland comes in, which he will, if there's another injury, I think Sean Abbott's probably the next one selected. I've also said this off air to you. I like Henry Thornton. I like the speed. I like the X factor. I like the fact that speed through the air. He can bowl 150 Ks, and yes, he hasn't got the control of a Sean Abbott or a Neser or something like that. I just think if you've got Stark, Hazelwood, or let's say Stark went down, for example.
Yeah.
Hazelwood, Boland.
Touchwood.
Hazelwood, Boland, Cameron Green, Bo Webster, Nathan Lyon can all control. I think someone like a Henry Thornton can come in and use that speed and be that X-factor bowler. So I think he's an option.
Brendan Doggett's
done well. He's done brilliantly
well
in the one-dayers. His record in his last 5 or 6 one-days are phenomenal.
Very strong Shield season for South Australia as well after he made the move from Queensland because he could barely get a game.
I think we've got options. I think we've had the luxury of having Stark, Hazelwood, Cummins, Lyon for a long period of time. So we haven't seen at the highest level a number of these other bowlers, but their Shield records have been very good. We're seeing them get a chance in short form cricket. They're doing very well. So I'm not too concerned about our bowlers. I think yes, we've got some injuries in first class cricket, but I think our stocks are still pretty good. And again, I'm hoping we're going to see Pat Cummins through this series. Hazelwood and Stark look as fit as I've seen them in a long time.
Don't they?
They both look lean. They both look strong. Hazelwood's bowling beautifully. Starkey, again, I think he flicks a switch. He goes to that next level when he's playing for Australia.
I
just think they're in a good spot.
Last time around in Australia.
Well, I think that'll be the difference as well. I think our bowlers will be the difference.
What a ball.
So I'm not too concerned about our bowlers. I think right now we're looking at, is Cameron Green going to play the Shield game as a batsman and a bowler? Is Bo Webster going to play the Shield game as a batsman and a bowler? Sam Constas, how many runs does he get open to batting for New South Wales? Does Marnus's form continue?
There's a lot of questions here. I just want to know where you start. Where do you start to fix this jigsaw puzzle? Like you say, is Cam Green's ability to bat and bowl going to be the thing that helps shape the side? Because it will depend is he your 3? Is he your 6?
I'll tell you where you start. You start with you got a different captain. So I heard Pat Cummins say the other day, he thinks batting orders are overrated.
Interesting.
The Australian
thoughts
Test captain thinks batting orders are overrated.
What was the context there?
I'm not sure. I think I can't even remember what podcast he was on or whatever it was, but I was saying what's one of the most overrated things in cricket. Maybe in T20 it's overrated because you only got 20 overs. In a Test match, I think that's a big part of what our concern's been for a long time, that we've tried a number of opening batters that aren't specialist openers. Yeah. I reckon in Test cricket, your batting order is very important. Yeah. You know, you have set positions, opening the batting and batting number 3. There's a reason for 100 years, everyone says it's the hardest place to bat, certainly in Australian conditions. So I think we need to work out what our best batting order is for the conditions we're playing in against the opposition we're playing against. Because if you don't have specialists in specialist position and you got someone like Jofra Archer running in and bowling, mate, this game is going to be very hard. So Steve Smith is now captain of the first Test. Does he want a specialist opener?
Does he get a say as a standing? He does?
The captain picks the batting order.
Right.
The selectors pick the team, the captain picks the batting order. So in my opinion, if you're picking the best top 6, I'm picking specialists. I'm picking a specialist opener to bat with Usman Khawaja. I'm probably picking Marnus at 3, Smith at 4, Travis Head at 5, and Cameron Green, if he's fit to bat and bowl, at number 6. Because Cam Green he can bat. I think he can bat at number 4 in time when Smitty's done. But right now, having someone that skillful at number 6 that can bat and bowl, he could win you a series, Cam Green, at number 6. He's that good a player. Yes, he's batted at number 3, but I don't think he needs to right now. Marnus is in form. Marnus' best position is number 3. So that's what I would be doing in regards to the top 6. Keeper at 7, then your bowlers. But like I said, they've made their bed. They've batted Cam Green at number 3 just as a batsman. So that if they want that to continue, which is fine because he's done pretty well, then I think you've got to keep Beau Webster at number 6. Because I think Beau Webster's done well as well.
So we've got an old-fashioned bat-off still for that opening position. Coming up, the last Shield round is going to be so incredibly important.
Yep.
If you're Matt Wrench or Jake Weatherald, Sam Constant,
they're your 3, I think.
What do they need to do? Is it
turning
up?
Make a double 100.
Simple as that.
The other thing the other thing people need to remember as well, and this is why I still think you can pick Sam. I know he hasn't made many runs. Batting on Shield wickets are very different to batting on Test wickets.
Yeah.
Test wickets are a lot better to bat on. So I know you want runs under your belt, don't get me wrong, but that's why I say Marnus at the moment is distance above everybody else because of his hundreds.
Yeah.
He's batting on Shield wickets. I know it's Allan Border Field, so what? And I don't care who you're playing against, you're still making them. But I wouldn't be putting a line through Sam if he can make some runs in this last Shield game. Like I say, I've looked at the wickets he's been batting on. They've been tough conditions as well. So I still think he's a chance to be a part of that. If they want a specialist opener, I think it's the 3 you just said, Weatherald, Renshaw, or Sam fighting for the specialist opener position. But then Marnus has to bat at number 3 if you go that way. If they keep Cam Green at 3 and Webster at 6, Marnus can open the batting. He is the man in form. If there's one spot available, in my opinion, he has earned it. He's the first pick. But I hope it's at number 3 and they also go with a specialist opener with Uzi and then pick one all-rounder at number 6.
My gosh, there's literally so many different permutations that can still happen. I cannot remember.
And there's no wrong. Like, that's the other thing. It's up to the selectors and the captain to work out what is their best 11 to beat England in Perth.
Yeah.
That's where the first test is.
Yeah.
That's what I say. Like, batting order, particularly in WA and in Brisbane at the Gabba, I think is so important. There's more movement normally. There's extra bounce normally. So your top 3 and 4 are so important, especially when you got someone like a Travis Head, a Cameron Green, an Alex Carey through the middle order.
Very
They're
strong.
power players.
Yeah.
If they can come in and bat, halfway through or back end of day 1 into day 2, mate, it's the best time for them to bat and play their natural game. If we're 3 for 10 and Travis Head walks out to bat,
you can't unleash him
I
the way that you
think
normally
the
would.
way he wants to play, it's very hard to do that because if he gets out playing a big drive, nicks it, he'll get criticised for that. So I think batting orders in Test cricket's very important. Not to disagree with Paddy, but I think that's something we really need to be focused on in the lead up to this first Test match in WA.
And pick and stick as well.
You got to, if you go with someone, you can't pick someone for one test. You got to give them, especially a young player, you've got to give them an opportunity. And Test cricket's hard against a good England attack. They're going to be competitive. They're going to be tough. I think you just got to keep the faith. But I hated that. I thought that was, I didn't like what happened there. I think if they picked him, they had to give him longer opportunity. But anyway, they went that way. And like I say, the selectors, I think, have done the right thing in holding information back. Let this Shield game play out, and then hopefully it takes care of itself.
Oh, so much to look forward to there. Can it just be a month's time already? I want to know what happens. I want to know what's going to happen. But I do think whatever happens in the Shield round coming up in the next few days is obviously going to be very, very integral to who ends up making it to that final playing 11 for Australia. But, from red ball back to white ball just for a hot second. We did see the third and final ODI between Australia and India take place in our backyard here in Sydney at the SCG. I hate to say it, but you were right. It was 2-1 to Australia. India did
I'm allowed to get,
get a
I'm
win
allowed to
on
get
the
one
board.
right.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
majority wrong.
Yeah, you pick it every now and again. But it was an emphatic victory to India, a huge victory in the context. And, importantly, Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma signing off maybe from cricket in Australia with a huge win and a huge partnership.
Yeah, they were both brilliant. And I think everyone was happy for them. Obviously, Australia already won the series. So, I think what a way for both those two players to leave Australian shores. I think Rohit making another 100. I've always loved the way Rohit plays.
It's his 50th international 100.
And he's been a very good player in Australian conditions, where India and Australian conditions are so opposite. But we always talked about, how well Rohit played the short ball and he took that hook shot on. I think his captaincy is underrated. I think he was a very, very good short form captain for India. And he's one of the best white ball players to have played. I think he's in that conversation. Again, Virat is, in my opinion, the best one-day cricketer that I've seen in my time. The amount of games he's won for his team. Again, he was there at the end. I think batting conditions were a lot better in Sydney, obviously batting second rather than the first two games where they lost the toss and got sent in as well. So I think you've seen that. If they had had the best of batting conditions, maybe the series might have been different. But yeah, a good one-day series, a very good win from Australia. A lot of inexperienced players. So I think they should be really happy. Lots of positives for them to take out of that series moving forward as well. But yeah, it was nice to see Virat and Rohit both make some runs, help their team win. And if that's the last time we do see him in Australia, I think everyone at the SCG was really happy.
It was that little smile on Kohli's face when he finally got off the mark
for
the first time in 3 games. And that's cricket, isn't it? One of the greatest players ever to play the format can get back-to-back ducks. So if you're in grade cricket, if you've got a couple of pies, it happens. And I just thought, what a beautiful human moment. And I think some people describing it as like a little cute smile, which is not a word I thought I'd describe Virat Kohli as. But that little look of knowing.
Well, being on zero, no matter how many games you've played, it's not a nice feeling.
No, not a nice
wanting
place to be at.
The chance to get 3 ducks, you don't want that. But, look, class is permanent. Form's temporary. And I think anybody that's played the game over a long period of time, that's why you hear a lot of people talk in the media when there was talk about Rohit and Virat, is their time up? You don't write off champions. And they've both shown it over a long period of time. They're at their best when their team's under pressure. They know how to win games. I think Shubman Gill said it perfectly after the game. He really enjoys having Rohit and Virat in the team. If he needs any help on the field, he can go to them. Now, even how he says that, that's what you want if you're in Shubman Gill's position. He doesn't have to. He doesn't feel like, one of those guys is the captain. He's the captain, but if he needs their help and advice, he's got them there. And I felt that at times when I was captaining Australia as well. I pushed hard to keep Ricky in the team for that reason. He was great around the group. It was like having a coach out on the field. And then for me as well, we'd captain Australia so much. If I needed a second vice captain, I had Brad Haddon there as vice captain or Shane Watson. But if I was unsure and I needed something, Ricky had stood in those shoes. So I think from Shubman Gill's perspective, it'll help him as well. It'll quicken his learning up. Tactically, it'll help him. And again, if they're still making runs and winning games for their team, I think the next World Cup is realistic for both of them. I really do.
I think we'd like to see it, particularly after that. That's the 12th time those two have piled on 150 plus partnerships. So if you're an Indian fan, then, I would be wanting Virat and Rohit in my team for as long as humanly possible.
Especially a World Cup as well. That's maximum pressure. They know how to win. I think that's where you need your senior players with experience to handle those pressure moments. Even if those guys made no runs and they qualified in the semi, I'd be backing those two to be leading 2 run scorers in the semi-final and the final.
Yeah, to come good when it matters. And, talking about coming good when it matters, we have to talk about the gals over in India once again, because the Aussies' World Cup domination, it's looking like so tangible that they're going to get there again, because they just dismantled South Africa, who were, before this match, sitting second on the table. Alana King.
Spin to win. She's been amazing.
7
she's been
for 18.
But not only in this game, she's been unbelievable since she's come to the Australian team. Again, I think her control of line and length, she gets the ball to drift in, can spin the ball as well. Australia unbeatable. Australia are unbeatable at this World Cup. And from the other team's perspective, they just saw how to beat South Africa. Because South Africa's been the second pick of the teams, in my opinion.
Yep.
But now, if I'm playing against South Africa, I'm bowling spin from both ends. I'm bowling spin to South Africa.
Wow.
And again, I think we saw on that pitch, there was a little bit more spin than what we've seen in the past. Yeah. So going into the semi-final and the final.
Is that normal for indoor wicket?
Indoor's normally very good for batting.
Yeah.
But I think it's, you're seeing pitches that are being used. So that's what I'm saying. I think spin will play a bigger role come semi-final and final. Aussies are adapting to whatever's thrown at them. That's why I think they're unbeatable at the moment. But yeah, I think the other teams would have noticed that South Africa have been playing well, but there's a little weakness there. So they'll bowl spin to them all the time, I think.
Kingy, I mean, she's such a character. She's, such a wonderful player. And the fact that she even has fought her way into this ODI side and cemented her position, given how good Australia are. Like, it's no mean feat to actually even get a start in the Australian side. But she's always said that, the late, great Shane Warne has been one of her idols growing up. And, the way that she had that precision and that flight and, those variations. Did you see a little bit of that influence in her when you watch her play?
Oh, I love her excitement when she takes a wicket. I think Warnie's greatest strength was his control. To bowl out the back of the hand and have the same control, if not better control, than a finger spinner is phenomenal. And I think, I've played with and seen a number of different leg spinners through my career, but as a batsman, you sweat on, you're going to get a bad ball and over. I think she's got that skill where she doesn't bowl you a bad ball.
Yeah.
Again, I think she gets batters out in the air because she gets the ball to drift into a right-hander. So then they play for spin, and you'll see a couple of dismissals went through bat and pad and bowled them leg stump. So it drifts in, slides on with the arm, very hard as well. That's, again, one of the strengths of a spin bowler is getting a batter out before it actually bounces. So you get them out with the revs on the ball, not just the spin off the pitch. And then you get natural variation in India as well. One ball skids on, one ball turns. And, yeah, I think she bowls. Again, she's got different shape to Adam Zampa, but her skill for short form cricket is attack the stumps like Adam Zampa. Yeah. Zampa's faster and into the wicket and doesn't spin it as much as her, but he attacks the stump. So he brings in LBW bowled every dismissal. I think she's got that same skill, attack the stumps, but can spin the ball, which brings in caught behind, caught slip, or natural variation goes straight on, LB and bowled.
That's how you get a 7 for.
Wow, phenomenal.
Come with them from every which way. Just lastly as well, Aussies do finish top, which means they face India at DY Patel in Mumbai for their semi-final.
Very good game.
India at home.
Yep.
Yes, it hasn't been their best season so far in this World Cup, but India at home.
Flick a switch. Things change. Semi-finals and finals are very different. You get one crack. So Australia will need to be at their best. And again, I'm expecting that wicket to spin. So, yeah, look, I think they get their skipper back as well. It sounds like Heels has been rested against South Africa.
She ain't missing that.
To be right,
Every jab under the sun will get her on that field. You best believe it. But that is the second semi-final, Australia v India, in just a couple of days. As we go to record with this podcast, come on, gals, things are going fantastically well so far. So Aussies doing what they're doing at World Cups. Let's see what happens there. But, tell you what, take a breath because...
What do we got?
We're on to white ball against India in the T20 format now. I tell you what, the cricket keeps coming at the moment. First one is on Wednesday.
Is that in Canberra?
It's in Canberra. Manica Oval.
Good ground. I like Manica. Big ground. Big ground.
Lots of runs. Usually an absolute run.
That's why I like it. Batter's paradise.
Standard.
Different squads.
Yeah, different squads. I just wanted to go through this now.
Different squads.
Depending on the game as well with that availability. Sean Abbott for games 1 to 3. Then we get Ben Dwarshuis, who we know is a fantastic T20 bowler for the last 2. Josh Hazlewood. Marley Beardman. Is that a name you've heard before?
I've heard of Marley Beardman's name.
20 years old.
I haven't seen
WA.
I haven't seen much of him at all. So I'd be lying if I sat here and told you strengths and weaknesses. I don't know much about him. I can't wait to see him play. Again, he's getting an opportunity in this young T20 squad. Because certain bowlers, Josh Hazlewood, Sean Abbott, are all going to get time on, time off to make sure they're ready for Ashes contention. The other one I saw who's back in the squad who's been injured is Glenn Maxwell.
That's a quick recovery.
Maxie's been out injured. It's good to see him back.
Broken wrist is better.
I'm just confused why Travis Head's playing these games and not playing the Shield game. I reckon just watching him bat in the one-dayers, it's hard with Trav as well because he plays such aggressive brand of cricket, but I just think a game of Shield cricket, 4-day game, in the field, but also batting a bit more time, might have been better preparation for him in the lead up for.
It goes to show how much Australia wants to make sure that they get some victories over India as well, how much importance they are placing on this T20 matchup. And then we do have a World Cup just around the corner.
Yeah, it's a hard balance. Like that's the thing as well. It's very hard. Again, what I'm like, I think Test cricket's the pinnacle. So I'd be wanting to make sure players are 100% ready for that first Test match. But you try and tell a player that's never played for Australia, you're going to play Shield cricket in hope you get picked in the Test 11 when you could be playing for your country in a T20. So it's a really hard balance. I think, again, we've still got plenty of experience in this T20 squad. Like I say, some players will be available for games 1 to 3 or games 3 to 5, whatever it is. But yeah, this Indian team would want to win this series as well. There's a lot of these players that are pushing hard to be in that 11. So I think you'll see India want to perform like they did in this last one-dayer, and they won't want to go home losing the one-day series and the T20 series. So I think it's going to be a beauty, to be honest. Again, if I'm looking at leading wicket taker for this T20 series, I reckon I'm going to go with Adam Zampa.
Yeah,
I reckon spin's going to be so important, and he'll play every game.
Absolutely.
Leading run scorer, I'm going to go Abhishek Sharma. Now, I think he's ready to play all 3 formats for India. It's hard. You can only fit 11 players in and 6 batters in, but I reckon he is an absolute superstar in this format. He's performed very well for Hyderabad Sunrisers in the IPL, but I reckon he just needs a chance to shine in international cricket. Opens the batting, left-hand, has got all the shots, all the talent.
Up against each other would be interesting. They know each other's games very well.
I can't wait to watch him play. Yeah. So I think he'll be the leading run scorer in the series. I'm going to say there's a washout.
Oof.
So 3-1.
So a full-on no result.
A no result. Complete no result.
Not even 5 aside, you reckon?
I'm going to say one game's completely washed out, and I'm going to say 3-1 to Australia.
There you go. Michael Clark with some big predictions there. Unfortunately, that is all we have time for here on the episode of Beyond23. Thank you so much for joining us once again. Gosh, it flies by, doesn't it?
Time flies when you're having fun,
Time flies when you're having fun. Yes, please make sure you like, subscribe, get involved in Beyond23. We love hearing from all of our fans at home. Gives us a bit of food for thought as well when we're chatting through everything. But this has been an I Want It Yesterday production, of course, and the episode was produced by Nicholas Shabinsky. We'll see you all in a couple of days. Plenty more to chat about in the world of cricket. But for now, it's goodbye.